I think one of the most amazing things that come from my artwork is that it gives me the ability to connect. My name is Daniel Lopez, and I'm from Southern California. I've lived up here in Washington for about 15 years now.
Daniel Lopez is a muralist and portrait painter whose style is built on his life growing up and the masters of the past.
Growing up, I especially remember my dad's tattoos. He had like these street Chicano art, prison, and like pain and love and suffering and all these things. It was almost like a mural to me. But then I also love the Renaissance work because it's so extreme and so dramatic. Those two styles just kind of naturally started like mending together. And I could try to smooth everything out if I wanted, but I love all those brush strokes and all these scratches and everything. They're just gonna make the painting look even cooler. The more I paint, I almost will probably start to feel like I know these guys and get more interested in them. And, you know, I will have actually like spent time painting their faces. I think that's pretty intimate. You look at people and you guess what their whole story is and what they've been through. I sketched and I drew a lot in elementary school. And my grandmother, she really nurtured that.
Daniel lived with his grandmother as a child. When Daniel was in high school, he fell in love with street art, graffiti, and murals in public spaces. But towards the end of high school, art drifted out of Daniel's life.
And this is when my addiction was starting to really ramp up. I dropped out of high school about 18, and then I was used until about 31.
Then in 2013, Daniel's grandmother passed away, and his life began to spiral out of control.
And I was at a point where I was either gonna like make a really bad decision or get some help.
Daniel had family who lived in Spokane, so he decided to relocate and seek help. He entered Teen Challenge, a faith-based program helping those struggling with addiction. Afterwards, Daniel began rebuilding his life. He was hired as a dishwasher at Indaba Coffee.
And I would draw in these little books for like an hour before work. And people are looking at my artwork and they're like, man, you gotta do something with this. It was 2015 and I had gotten the opportunity to paint my first real mural. It was the YFC building off of Ash. It was like this big long wall. This was my first whole city block type of mural. I was trying to get linked up with the Spokane Arts. I finally went in with my book and I met Ellen Pickin. At the time, she was on the Spokane Arts Commission and an artist. I showed her my work and she's like, oh, you're the one that did the big mural over there. Nobody knew who was doing it. And then it just kind of snowballed. It was crazy.
Over time, Daniel began connecting with more and more artists and community members, leading to more and more gigs creating art. Each piece of art Daniel completes, he signs under his pen name, Graffiti.
The Graffiti is the idea of if God were a graffiti artist, what would he paint? I guess in my mind, it's like he would paint more matters of the heart, like things that are meaningful and get people to think. I always feel like the community's helping me as much as I'm like giving back and trying to paint something beautiful.
Daniel volunteers at Westview Elementary School, sharing his love of art with the kids.
Yeah, I do Dr. Seuss Week every year. I'll go in and I read this book. I'm not just a scribble. And then I'll draw with them. And then I partner with them in the Shado Park High School. And they work together and I kind of just back it.
Daniel even designed a mural for the kids to work on together.
I went in and just like talked to the kids for a little bit, gave them assignment, and then I came in and just pieced it all together.
Creating art and connecting with his community has helped give Daniel purpose and a sense of belonging.
It's a beautiful journey, and it helped me reflect on my life and find healing and reach people and connect to people. And so it has been one of the most amazing things in my life to be a painter.